All right, here we go. I am recording.
Okay, yay! Welcome to episode 1 of Two Bimbos Saying Shit. Finally, we're doing this.
We're doing it.
Welcome. I'm really excited. Kind of
All
nervous, but
right. Would you like to start off with names and
okay.
pronouns?
Yeah, my name is Taylor. You can just call me Tay. That's what everyone else calls me. My pronouns are she, her, and I am Anna's favorite bimbo.
Maybe.
Okay. Uh,
Um.
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. My name is Anna. I Fuck.
It's just an introduction, Anna. You can do it.
My name is Anna. My pronouns are she, her. Um. I'm a Libra. I don't know anything else about my
Wait,
personality except
I
that.
forgot to say I was a Capricorn.
Okay, go
Everyone
ahead.
hates me for it. I'm a Capricorn. Um, Anna's a great artist. I don't know if I can throw that out there or not, but that's what she does. And she's gonna do the art for the podcast once we actually get things going. So look forward to that because she's fucking skilled AF, you know.
I do art.
Yeah,
I
she
do
does art.
things.
So what? So what?
Yeah, I do things. What the fuck you gonna do about it?
So I'm really excited because we're going to talk about some really interesting topics, I think, that I'm excited to talk about. But we're
Before
going to talk about...
we get
Go ahead.
there, would you like to talk about how we got to this?
Yeah, we should. So we just pulled this idea out of our little fucking pea brains and we said, let's... we said let's do this, and then we were like, okay. No,
Now we're
kidding,
doing
kind
it.
of. But no, so Anna and I have been friends for, oh my god, so we met on Twitter.
Yes.
What was it, maybe like 4 years ago now?
It's
5?
definitely
I
4
don't even...
years.
um
Reaching 5.
I remember exactly how it happened because for those of you that don't know me personally, I am super into Overwatch League. And I remember tweeting something along the lines of, let women into the Overwatch League, you cowards. Which is
How
so funny
fitting
because
for our podcast topic today.
I know, which is so funny because when I say that out loud, it's in my head. I'm like, oh, that is such an Anna thing to say. But I didn't even know you yet when I tweeted that. So I tweeted it, and I Anna liked it or retweeted it or something, and we just started following each other. And then I remember us just like DMing each other about Overwatch, like, oh my god, do you play Overwatch? Yeah, we both play on the PlayStation at the time. Let's play together. And it just kind of went from there. And then I introduced Anna to my other friends, like Lauren and Dave and everyone else. And now I have this
I was taken in by
small
a pack of wolves.
I have this small Twitch community now that Anna kind of runs with me. I made her my little redacted champ
Oh, I
admin.
hope we
And
get to talk about what happened yesterday during your Twitch
oh yeah,
stream.
we could definitely talk about it because it happens all the time. So um anyway, that's how we met. We are best friends. We've still never met in person. I live in Illinois and Anna lives in California, and COVID is putting a damper on travel plans. So
We'll get
but
there.
we've been best friends. We're you know, we're
Who needs to meet in person when we have this?
when we video call each other pictures of our disgusting breakfast burritos that we made this morning. Anna.
Ah, my
Do
breakfast.
you want to tell everyone what you had in your breakfast burrito?
Sure. All
Okay.
right. So it started off really well. I made some eggs to put in it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did hash brown,
Sounds pretty normal.
sausage. Yeah. Put a little sriracha for some spice.
Yeah, and then what was the last ingredient, Anna?
Mayo.
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is in my burrito.
Why? Why did you come to that conclusion? I'm just wondering.
If Jack in the Box can do it, why can't I?
You know what's funny is all of the guys won't shut up about how I put peanut butter in my ramen. They think it's like the weirdest thing ever, but people do that, right? Like that's not abnormal. I feel like people do that.
Yeah, in a lot of
Restaurants, right?
Asian
Yeah.
Asian cuisine, there's peanut
They're
flavoring
sitting there
in
they're sitting there
savory
telling me
foods.
that I just threw shit together in my kitchen and called it a day. And I'm not, no, that's not what I did. It's like people actually do that.
You know what? It's better than what I saw someone put in their ramen yesterday. I was watching a video where someone ate ramen every day for a whole week, and they were getting sick of ramen. So what they decided to do is put corn and ground beef and cheese.
Okay, so that sounds good though.
It wasn't good.
So, okay. So, guys, if you're listening to this, Zach, Sean, Tristan, I don't know, peanut butter does go in ramen, and you guys can stop making fun of me for it.
Imagine food shaming someone with who loves peanut butter.
I know. Zach can't even have peanut butter, so joke's on him.
That's where it all stems from. It's this silent jealousy saying, I wish I could put peanut butter in my ramen.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Anyway.
Back on track.
Back on track. So some of the things we're going to talk about, which I'm really excited, is we're basically going to talk about being a woman on the internet, identifying as a woman on the internet, what it's like being a woman who plays video games on the internet, experiences we've had.
Being a
because
girl
this shit
gamer.
is real. It happens. It's not just fucking fake shit on Twitter that you see. It really does happen to probably every woman in your life, regardless of if you want to believe it or not. So we're going to talk about it, and we're going to explain things that have happened to us and how we've handled it and kind of what it's like. So yeah. So Anna, do you want to talk about some of the video games you play? What kind of games you're into? What you do?
Oh, sure. So as we've already stated, I play Overwatch, mostly with you. Mm-hmm. I've been playing a lot of Dead by Daylight.
Mm-hmm.
And I always go back to Destiny. I'm in a...
Anna's my little Destiny gamer. Smile.
Me and Destiny are in a very interesting relationship where I love it despite all its little mistakes.
Yeah. What's the first video game you ever played, you think? Can you remember?
Oh, man. It was on the PS2, I believe. It was... No, I think it goes further than that. I think it was on the Game Boy Advance. It was probably a Mario game. The classic.
I was about to feel really old when you said your first game was on PS2.
I did go straight to PS2 afterwards. I will say I don't think I've ever touched a PlayStation 1. Funny enough, I have touched an Atari. We have an Atari.
Oh, see, it's weird how like households have that because growing up. So Anna and I, there's a 4-year difference between Anna and I. For those of you who don't know, I'm 4 years older than her. And
do you want to talk about? I can always cut this out, but I was gonna ask if you're okay with putting our actual age in the podcast, or if you'd rather. Okay,
I'm fine with that if you are.
Okay, I'll just cut this out, or not. This is funny. Maybe.
We don't cut it out, whatever.
It's the first podcast. Who cares?
Yeah, fuck. We can talk about whatever we want.
I could fart in here and nobody would care.
It's our podcast. Anyway,
after that burrito I ate, you bet I'm farting in this podcast.
my house, I remember my mom, like, so I lived with my mom growing up and my brother, and we had a PS1, and when the PS2 came out, I remember when it came out, we bought it. But before that, I spent a lot of time at my grandma's on my dad's side, and she had an SNES console.
Oh my god, same.
Yeah, and then like an N64. Like N64 is like the big one when I was little, and then
I'm pretty sure that's the one people recognize the most now.
Yeah, so we played a lot of so on the SNES we had the original Duck Hunt game with like the actual like gun controllers that you shoot at the screen.
Oh my god,
which
I love that.
Was so interesting, but I fucking hated that game growing up because that stupid little dog would like laugh at you if you missed. And it made me so sad.
As stated, anyway, there's a 4-year age difference. I am the younger one and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh,
I've
okay.
never seen
Well,
Duck Hunt in my life.
oh my god. Okay, well, I'm old, and so my aiming skills have not improved since Duck Hunt. I still fucking suck. So, um, yeah. So I think my first game actually was it was on a Game Boy Color, the original Game Boy Color. No, it wasn't even a color. It was just an original Game Boy. And it was
Is that the sideways one?
no, it wasn't sideways. It was vertical. I'm pretty sure. But it was Pokemon Gold, the original Pokemon Gold. It might have been a color, actually. I can't fucking remember. But I know the first game I ever played was Pokemon Gold. And I played like there was like this Rancid game. If my brother listens to this, he's gonna know what I'm talking about. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. It was this game on the PlayStation 1. Captain, I don't know. Anyway, you played this it took place in space, and you had to like save these strippers from these like cages. They were locked in.
Excuse me?
I'm not joking. It is a real game. I'll find the title of it at some point. But my brother knows what I'm talking about. If you're listening to this, please tell everyone I'm not crazy, but I'm not joking. And it was like a third person shooter. You like had to fight aliens. It was kind of like a platformer too. But yeah, you had to save these strippers. It was kind of a good game. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Where PlayStation 1 game where you save strippers.
Captain Blasto. That's the name of it. Captain Blasto. Hang on,
What the hell is Duke Nukem?
Captain Blasto. Yeah, so if you look up Captain Blasto, you're gonna see it. That is literally we played it on the PlayStation, the original PlayStation.
This is just the Crimson Chin before his chin grew in.
He's shaped like a Dorito chip. I can't handle it. Oh my god, it's all coming back to me now.
The history of Dorito chip-shaped characters in video games is quite funny.
That's an ongoing joke we have because who all do we say is like that? Sigma from Overwatch. The Wraith from Dead by Daylight is also kind of shaped like a Dorito chip.
Gru from Despicable Me is also shaped like a Dorito chip.
My favorite video game character.
Literally almost every male Marvel hero and DC hero is shaped like a Dorito chip.
What is up with that shape choice? I don't get it. Anyway, I think we got off topic a little bit, but it's fine.
Thought I had something intelligent to put in as someone who's taking a character design and concept course, but I don't.
Oh, I didn't talk about what games I play.
Yeah.
I just talked about Captain Blasto. Anyway.
You also brought up Pokemon Gold, if you'd like to continue
so that was
from
my
that
first
timeline.
game. I'm still I played Pokemon competitively from like 2014 to like almost 2016.
Which one would you say is your favorite Pokemon game?
For nostalgic purposes, maybe Fire Red, but like probably that's not like the best Pokemon game though. It's just my favorite.
Understandable.
But I don't know. Everyone has such differing opinions about the Pokemon games, and I remember when Pokemon Sword and Shield was coming out, it was this big debacle about like people being pissed that the whole Pokédex wasn't included in the game, and
For which Pokemon game?
And Sword and Shield, the newest ones. And I remember getting into arguments with, well, I didn't start the arguments. It's like people were just dumb about it. And it was like, I don't know. I don't even remember what the arguments were about, but it's like people were pissed about it.
You had an opinion to put out there, and you did it.
Yeah, and it was basically just people being mad that the whole Pokédex wasn't in the game. Like, not all, like, 900 plus Pokemon were in the game, and people were mad about it. They couldn't bring their hacked shiny level 100 Charizard over to the game. They had to start over and raise new Pokemon. And
God forbid you have to actually play the game.
Anyway, so I'm a big Pokemon fan. I like the competitive aspect of games, so I've unfortunately been playing Overwatch since it released in 2016. I started on PS4, recently switched to PC. And a lot of the people I play with are just casual Overwatch players, which is fine because we play a lot of fucking casual Overwatch. But in my own time, I do play a lot of competitive Overwatch because I really, like I said, like the competitive aspect of games. That is a whole nother story about being a woman on competitive Overwatch. But anyway, I play a lot of JRPGs. The Tales of series is my favorite. They just had their 25th anniversary. I'm very excited for them. Thank you, Namco Bandai. What else do I play?
We played Monster Hunter for a bit that you really enjoyed.
Yeah, I played some Monster Hunter on the PS4. I'm really into Dragon Age. I fucking love Dragon Age Inquisition. I played through that a million times. I really like indie games. Like, I know this one's a little more mainstream, but like Little Nightmares is super fun. I played a lot of like indie titles on the PS4 back when I played a lot of PS4. Anyway, that's some of the stuff I'm into. That's all about me.
Oh, I almost forgot to bring up. I also really enjoy fighting games. Mortal Kombat's my main one, especially 11 right now. I did play 9 a bit, but that was back when I barely started playing on the PS4, so I didn't play it too much. I did do Street Fighter for a bit, and then I grew up a lot on Marvel vs. Capcom 3 back when the PS3 was still a big thing.
You want to know something funny about me and Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
I never got into Mortal Kombat, but my brother and I, growing up, played a lot of video games together. And I remember we would go, this probably shows my age a little bit, but we would go to, I grew up in a small town and we had a little store where you could rent, it was like a Blockbuster, but like a local one where you could rent like movies and video games.
Yeah.
Okay, so we would go rent video games. And I remember some of the video games we would rent was like Crash Bandicoot for the PS2, and I think Mortal Kombat was one of them because I remember watching him play Mortal Kombat, and I always had to close my eyes for the finishers because I am really squeamish. And I couldn't, and I'm thinking like at the time, I'm like, man, that's so detailed, but it was on the PS2. How bad could it have really been? You know what I mean? But at the time I was like, I was a kid. And I'm like, I can't watch this. It's so gross. And
I don't even think I remember which Mortal Kombat games were on the PS2.
I could not tell you. Anyway,
right.
Did you guys? I was in I'm really good at Guitar Hero, or I used to be rather. And when I was 12, when I was 12 years old, I was in a Guitar Hero competition, and it was me, this 12-year-old girl, and then a bunch of like middle-aged bearded dudes. God. And I got third place.
I'm so proud.
It was in my local mall.
And do you remember when they put out Guitar Hero for the Nintendo DS?
No.
Oh my god.
I don't.
So they did, and when you would get the game, you'd also have to get like this little handheld thing that would replicate the buttons.
Oh, I do actually remember that. I didn't play it, but I remember that.
I was really good at that one. I don't know why that one specifically, but
that's pretty funny.
The Nintendo DS. Oh man, do you remember Nintendogs?
I never played Nintendogs, but I remember Zach and Mike talking about during one of Zach's streams one time. Mike was like, "You remember when I made you buy Nintendogs so we could walk our dogs together?" And Zach lost his mind. He thought it was so funny.
I think that's very cute.
I guess Mike and Zach obviously grew up together. We know that about them, but Mike said that he made Zach buy Nintendogs so they could walk their dogs together. Which is kind of cute, I think.
Very cute.
So Zach, if you're listening, we think that's really cute.
Me and one of my old friends, Mac, we used to do that a little bit as well in like kindergarten. I remember there were in
kindergarten.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. There's that age difference again. How old were you when Nintendogs came out? Probably like middle school?
What year did it come out? And then I can tell you.
I don't remember. Early 2000s.
Let me look. When did Nintendogs come out? 2005. I was in 5th grade.
Oh, okay. So we were both around elementary school then when it came out. All right. Well, those are all the video games we've can think of so far that we've experienced.
Yeah, so let's get into Twitch, shall we?
Oh man.
Anna and I both stream on Twitch. Anna just recently started streaming. I've been affiliated since July of 2020. We have some Twitch experiences being women.
God, I love being your mod.
Oh yeah, Anna's my mod, and she's one of my mods, and she's
probably the worst one in the sense that
it's so
I
funny
have
because...
the most bans, timeouts, and callouts.
So
in
something
chat.
about me is I have a really hard time standing up for myself and telling people when things are wrong or it makes me uncomfortable or I don't like it. And it's so funny too because last night is such a good example because I was streaming and I put in the Twitch tags no backseat gaming because I fucking hate when... Hey Lauren.
Hi Lauren.
I'm back.
Hello.
We are recording.
Oh. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'll leave you guys to it. I love you.
No, you're good. We love you. Yeah.
We'll tell you when we're done.
Okay.
We love you.
All right. Would you like to start over for a bit there? Our friend just came in.
Yeah, our friend Miss Lauren, who is going to be on next episode.
Yeah.
Smile.
For the audience,
Yes.
real quick, we are recording on Discord, and we are in a somewhat private channel. Of course, mods have access to it, and the friend Lauren, who we plan on having in the third episode, I believe, or second, one of those, has access to it. So there will be moments in the podcast, most likely, that'll be cut out. And when they are, it's most likely because somebody has joined in.
Yes. Anyway, she messaged me. She was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm like,
Tell
no,
her I
it's
love
okay,
her. Tell her I love her.
her.
Ask her if she wants
Anyway.
me to make her a burrito.
No. We told Lauren about your rancid burrito. So I was saying though that I have a really hard time telling people, like I said, like what's too far. You get a lot of people that backseat game, and I put in one of my Twitch tags, I put no backseat gaming just so I don't have to like go out of my way to be like, hey, like please don't backseat game me. I know how to play the fucking game.
And even if you didn't, it's something you want to figure out yourself.
Yeah, like if I wanted to know something, I would just ask, and then you can give me the answer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people will be like, press W to walk forward. Like, okay, thanks. It's like,
Tay,
that sounds
as
like
a
I'm
woman, did you
exaggerating.
know that if you press M1, you might do an action depending on the game you're
God.
playing?
And it sounds like you guys, it sounds like we're being like over exaggerating or whatever, but we're not. It's literally like that sometimes, like straight up. So anyway, last night I was playing Dead by Daylight, and I'm not like I just started playing that game like 3 weeks ago. I know how to play the game. My friends have been playing the game forever. There's like, I'm sure there's like small things I don't know, like what certain perks do, blah, 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 whatever. But I had this person in my stream, and I mean, they were really friendly, I guess. I don't know, but they started like backseat gaming me a little bit, like
not a little bit. When I showed up to your stream after my class had finished, literally the entire chat was just filled with random information they were trying to give.
Coming out of a locker makes noise. Okay, thanks. I know.
Yeah,
like,
it's not like we can't hear it.
I don't have the heart to like stand up for myself. And I know it's something I need to work on, whatever. But Anna, she'll DM me and she'll be like, "Hey, can I?" She'll ask me permission. She'll be like, "Hey, can I tell this person to stop fucking backseat gaming you?" And I'm like, "Yes, please do." And so she comes in and
I want to see
Anna,
exactly what I said.
She puts her foot down. Yeah, you can pull that up while I talk about it.
All right.
She puts her foot down, and I love that we are like two sides of one coin, because she is everything that I need to be, and
here it is. I found it.
Yeah, what did you
Here
say?
is what I said exactly. At this person, I know you mean well, but you've been backseat gaming for the past, 10 minutes? When it's literally in the tags, no backseat gaming. So please stop.
See, that's friendly. Like, that's not like...
Ah, shoot. I forgot
It's not like mean.
Sorry, I forgot to turn off my audio for my Twitch on Streamlabs, and I just got a follow. So I'll leave it in there, cut it out. We'll find out.
It's gonna be scuffed. It's our first episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's just shit like that. And then like, I remember that one instance with Tasha when we were watching her stream, and this one in particular person who I will leave anonymous, was backseat gaming her. And like, some people don't care to be backseat gamed.
Even
like,
though you're leaving them anonymous, I think for context we should say it was a man.
It was a man,
in fact
yes.
a man.
And like I said, some people really don't care about that. Like they're open to backseat gaming and it doesn't bother them. But for like me in particular, I just don't like it. And if I want to know something, I'll just ask, you know what I mean? And then you can tell me. But I don't like feeling like...
Oh, also for more context, Tasha is another streamer we know.
Yes, yeah, she's streaming on Twitch, and Anna and I, we went out of our way to like DM her like in a group DM on Discord, and was like, "Queen, is this man bothering you?" I can't do anything about it, but Miss Anna will, because I'm baby.
Yeah.
And
I think we do share a bit of a similarity where it comes to standing up for ourselves. It's rough. But for me in particular, I have a very easy time standing up for others.
You don't know how men are going to react when you do stand up for yourself, and that's like the scary part.
Yeah,
that's the scariest part. And it's of course it's not in person. It's over the internet, but like it's still scary because you don't know how these people are going to react. I've had people, I don't know who the fuck they were, but I don't know if you remember this, Anna, but I had people who, and this happens to other people too, it doesn't just happen to me, but their Twitch names were like, they were awful names, like, with slurs, like the N-word, the R-word, and they will like follow bot you with these awful Twitch usernames so it shows up on your stream. And like,
is that why you've... Excuse me, taken out the new follow thing on your...
Yeah, that's why I took that out. And they were joining the Discord too, because I had my Discord linked in a command and on my page, and I had to take that out for a while too, because not only were they following over and over on the stream so that awful name would show up while I was live, they were joining the Discord with the same name.
That also reminds me of that one time when we were playing Scribble and some random person had joined and just started putting in the Scribble chat a bunch of really bad slurs and whatnot.
Yeah, like people are, it's so like, I don't get it. Like, and that's the kind of thing, like, you don't know, like, if you piss someone off, like, you don't know how they're gonna react, and like, I don't want to deal with that while I'm live on Twitch. Like, no thanks.
Not to mention, you've done nothing to... Usually, you've done nothing to incite that action.
No,
they just show up and do it because they think, haha, funny.
Up. Yeah, haha, you're so funny. But that's one thing, and then another thing is I play a lot of competitive Overwatch. And I have two friends named Zach. The Zach we've been talking about is not the one who I'm referring to here. I have an IRL friend who I went to high school with named Zach as well, and I play a lot of competitive Overwatch with him. And he can attest to this. Literally every time we're playing a competitive game, I hardly ever calm, because the 1 second I do, in this one game in particular, I made one simple calm. I said something like, "Oh, Ash behind us," or something like that. And literally immediately 3 people are like, is that a girl?
God.
Is that a girl? And like, they'll put like in the chat, they do it because they think it's funny, is the thing, or they want a reaction. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but gamer men are literally the most fragile men in the world. And if you piss them off, they're gonna most of the time do something awful. So like I just choose not to speak, which sucks because I want to play the game like everyone else plays the game. And more recently I've started doing this thing in particular because I've noticed that sometimes even though they may not mean anything by it, people will interrupt me when I'm speaking and want to tell me I'm wrong about something. And
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, so they'll want to tell me, and it's like whatever. So I started doing this thing where instead of letting people do that to me, I interrupt them right back and tell them, no, I'm not wrong, I'm right. Or, you know, hey, why are you interrupting me? Something like that. And I kind of raise my voice a little bit, which for me, it feels a little uncomfortable because I don't do it a lot. But I started doing that and the other day actually, and I've noticed that when I do that, they shut up. So, and it felt really nice. So I'm going to keep doing it, I think, and see what happens. And, you know, it feels kind of good. So don't let men interrupt you. Keep talking. You're not wrong. They're wrong. Okay. And for all I know people are going to be like, not all men. Well, yeah, maybe not all men, but like, yeah, all men. So if your friends are doing this shit, fucking call them out because it's wrong. Okay. Don't let your friends treat people like that because it's not right. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Is there anything you'd like to add, Miss Anna? Have you had any experiences on your first couple streams on Twitch where things have happened to you?
Luckily enough, no. But I do remember on PlayStation when I was playing a competitive game with Miguel, I had gone into voice comms because I had some other friends at the time who were pretty brave about voice chat. I should mention she was also a girl, so it was pretty inspiring. So I decided, hey, I'm going to do that. Then I did, and the first thing I get is that a girl? Is that a girl? And funny enough, I had a bit of a different reaction where they're like, oh, I love you. Thanks for the heals and like flirting and stuff, which not only made me uncomfortable because it was unwanted flirting, but my boyfriend was right there.
Oh, yeah. For those of you that don't know, Miguel is Anna's boyfriend. So,
hi, Miguel. I love you.
Yeah. So
I hope
it's
you
either
listen
like
to this.
It's either they go out of their way to make you feel really uncomfortable, or from my experiences on PC, it's and you see this shit on Twitter too, and it's real. It really happens. But like, I've seen all these videos.
Sorry.
Of people. It's okay. Like just like people like. I mean, you start losing, and the first person you blame is whoever you know as a girl on the team. Like, and you get called all these awful names and all that just for being a woman. And I'm not saying this happens all the time, but it happens a lot more than, you know, it should.
And
it's not right.
I did also want to state that the boys assuming boys on who were saying that stuff to me, they sounded like they were like what, 12, 13, 14. And it's like and it's like this thing with men being terrible.
A lot of the times when I stream on Twitch, yeah. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. It surpasses age, if that makes sense. Like,
I have to
terribleness
make a decision.
Tends to
when I decide to go live on Twitch, I have to make a decision on if I want to turn my camera on that day, because if you turn your camera on and you get harassed, they're going to see your actual reaction to that. Yeah. And I have to decide if I want to take the chance and wonder, you know, if anyone's going to come into my chat and be weird and they're going to see my actual reaction, or if I just want to not have my camera on.
And then not only that, but turning on your camera also brings in a whole other level of judgment on like how you look.
How you look, yeah. Speaking of that, I wanted to bring up, I talked to Anna about this before we started recording, but there's this streamer that we watch. Her name is Glam Trash. She streams a lot of Dead by Daylight. And we are recording this episode on March 9th. Yesterday, on the 8th, was International Women's Day.
Happy birthday, all women.
I popped into her stream for a little bit, but I guess, and I missed when this happened. I just heard her talking about it, but when her stream started, she was under the just chatting section of Twitch, which is a very scary section to be in if you're a woman. I will say that I've had bad experiences being under the just chatting section. But she was under the just chatting section before she started playing. And in her title, she had something about it being International Women's Day. And I heard her talking about this after it happened. Like I said, I wasn't there when it did happen, but she said that she had an influx, like a copious amount of like just awful people come into her chat, mention her weight, mention how she looks, call her slurs, and talk shit about like International Women's Day just because of the title she had on her stream. And as she said, it wasn't just happening to her, it was happening to a lot of women on Twitch.
God forbid women exist.
Just being harassed in their chat because of their title and how she looks and all that stuff, which is awful. Like it's and men are like men are like these people that I've noticed. Okay, I'm gonna say this, not all men are like this, but yeah, all men are like this. Where they're like, I so
think we should
open-minded.
put out there, and for context, if we generalize a statement about men, obviously we mean not all men, but if the shoe fits.
Yeah, and I also want to say we have a large group of friends that includes a lot of men. And so we're not like men hating women, even though we kind of are. But I mean, it's not, I mean, we have a large group of friends that are men that maybe they do this sometimes and we call them out. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But anyway, God, what was I even talking about? Glam trash.
You were going to bring up something about what men are like.
Oh, they're like, I remember now. They're like, I'm so open-minded. Like, I respect women. And then they're like, actually, I only respect women that I deem attractive, that look how I want them to look.
Yeah.
That are thin. And then they'll use like fat as an insult. Even I've noticed when some of the guys I play with, they're like, when they get mad at a game, they're like, oh, you fat bitch or something to like a character in the game, which whatever, they're not real, but like using that as an insult. And it kind of makes me raise my eyebrows a little bit. It's just stuff like that. I don't know.
Do you remember that one time when someone in one of the guys' chat called me a lesbian because I was appreciating women?
I don't. Was I there for that?
It was one of the underaged ones.
Oh.
And then
oh my God, yes! And then I do!
Shoot, I have to cut that out because I said his name.
It's okay.
And someone in the stream had said, I literally have a boyfriend. I can't be, something,
you can't be gay.
Yeah.
Can't be queer.
Yeah, something like that. And
another interesting bisexual fucking discrimination or something. I don't remember what. I don't know.
Like,
yeah, I remember that.
Oh, it was like Anna literally has a boyfriend. She's in a heterosexual relationship. There you go. That's what it was. Yeah. And I had DM'd Tay later on because of personal reasons that I wasn't able to call them out. Imagine thinking that I have a boyfriend and straight up assuming I'm straight. And it's
bisexual
like,
people don't exist. It's just like ignorant and like, I don't know. Yeah, I get it though. It's just stuff like that. Anyway, I want to bring up an instance about
I love how this entire episode is just us bringing up bad experiences with men, and I'm very much here for
because it happens. And all of this stuff, like I said, I've only been affiliated on Twitch since July of 2020, so that's what,
it's
8 months
a year.
or something?
It's almost about to be a year. Congrats, Tay.
Thanks. All of this has happened since I've been affiliated. So it happens all the time and people don't realize. They think it's just like made up shit on Twitter or something, but it happens even to the women in your lives. It's happening regardless of if they decide to talk about it or not. And if you're a man, they probably don't want to talk about it with you. But anyway, I want to bring up this one instance of His I play a lot of World of Warcraft, or I did.
Oh, yay.
I was playing World of Warcraft. I played it a lot with my brother, and I don't know how many of you are familiar with World of Warcraft, but I was grinding for this specific race that you have to unlock by doing certain things. It takes several hours. It took me about 7 days, not straight, obviously, but it took me a while. I was trying to unlock the Nightborn race, and I tweeted something, and I said, I think I just key smashed a bunch of numbers, like our number key smash of grinding to unlock the Nightborn race, and I tweeted it. And then this man that follows me on Twitter, that I also had friended on Snapchat, I guess, apparently, went out of his way. I guess he saw that tweet, went out of his way to message me on Snapchat, and he was like, something like, "This is random, but just so you know, you have to get Exalted Reputation with Nightborn to unlock them." And first of all, I want to point out that's outdated information. It was no longer true. They had changed that. Second of all, why did he think I didn't know how to unlock it? Like, why would I be grinding for it if I didn't know? And I know some people are going to be like, he was just trying to help, Tay. No, fuck that. I knew what I was doing. And he like went out of his way. And I remember replying, I was like, I told him that it was outdated. Like, actually, you don't need to do that anymore. It's different now. And I explained what the difference was. And he was like, "Oh, my bad." And I was like, yeah,
it was your bad.
It was your bad.
And like with situations like this, it comes to a point where if you identify as a guy and you're
would he have
telling
done the same
this
thing
to a woman, would you tell this to a man in the same position?
Yeah.
A man that did not ask for your
I didn't ask for
input.
help. I obviously, like, if I am grinding for something, obviously I've looked into how to do it, and I'm not just trying to wing it, you know what I mean? And I didn't ask, like, "Oh, how do I do this?" I didn't do that. And it's just annoying. It happens so often. Do you want to talk about a little bit? I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Like, unless it's specifically put out there as a question for the public, you can say something, of course, but when it's just a statement, nobody's asking.
And the fact
for
that
your
he's
input.
like, I put that on Twitter, and he's like, he went out of his way to message me on Snapchat. He didn't, like
why didn't you want to do it on Twitter? Why didn't you say it in public?
Yeah, exactly.
What was your intention, you know?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about a little bit of some of the instances we've had in my Discord server with men actually gaming?
Yeah.
Because I know this has happened to you more than it's happened to me in my server.
Are we talking about that specific moment where I was talking about cheating in video games?
Yeah, and other instances involving that person?
Yeah, let me go to it. So I have a
I also want to point out before we get into this, I don't think
look at.
this person who identifies as a man, I don't think that they realize how they come across when these instances happened, but I think it's really important to know how many times this has happened and how myself and the people it involves, who are mostly my mods, all of my mods are women except for one, and all of these instances involve my mods. So we have talked about it, about how upset it makes them when this happens, and all this stuff. And Anna's the only one brave enough to to say something back. So I'm gonna let her talk about it.
All right. So I'm at the conversation. I went off a bit, so I'll shorten it. Basically, I was talking about aimbots, cheating programs, and like how much they cost, and like video games that don't do anything about it. I won't say which ones because...
Sure.
Yeah. So basically, I had put that, and this one person replies with, where is it? Aimbot isn't designed to make you unkillable. It's designed to give you an advantage. Also, people always hack, and it's inevitable when there is a competitive game. There you go. And I replied with, I know how aimbotting works, and I know it doesn't make you unkillable. I'm just saying it's pretty flawed for a program that's so expensive and supposed to help you this much. And we are in this specific Discord. Obviously, we're all people who play specific video games. I'm not saying everyone's going to know how to play a shooter or a fighting game or whatever, but I'm pretty sure the video game community that both me and Tay are in know what aimbot is and how it works.
If you game at all on a PC, you probably know what aimbot is. You know what I mean? Like,
and it's like, I know what aimbot is, person. God, now that I'm bringing it up, I don't know how to.
It's fine.
It's just explain
like,
it.
Obviously, that's not what you meant. I also had an instance on my I have a private Twitter account that I kind of just shitpost on, so I don't have to flood my main account with all that stuff. And I remember posting something like, why are some of the men that I've met some of the most selfish people I've ever met, or something, because I was going through it with this guy. I don't know. And it's my private Twitter account, okay? I can post what I want. And then this person, the same person that Anna was just talking about, was like, it's not men's fault, it's society's fault. It's society's fault for raising men to be selfish. But actually, I think that men should be held accountable for their actions, just like women are. What do you guys, like, what do you think about?
Not only that, but the argument's flawed because the idea is that society is designed for men to have an advantage. So inherently, it is men's fault that men are raised so terribly.
I won't get into it because it was a pretty long, drawn out, and I didn't. My friend Lauren, who we talked about earlier, actually kind of went off on this conversation, but I don't really want to get into it because it's whatever. But it's just like things like that.
And it's like, I understand the point of wanting to reply to someone saying something pretty generalized about men, or someone making an opinion about a video game, etc. But if these arguments were coming from a cis guy, would you say the same thing?
Yeah.
Like, if I were a man and I had posted this stupid, long, arduous paragraph about why I think buying cheap programs is so not worth it because the games you buy them for are already so expensive, would you have still said aimbot isn't designed to make you unkillable and blah, 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 blah? Would you have, if Tay were a man and said, why are men so selfish, would you have still replied with, it's not men's fault, it's society's fault, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's also, like, I mentioned this before, but, like, if you're a guy and you're listening to this and maybe you're a little uncomfortable about the things we're saying, and like I said, we have we have a group of guy friends that we play with all the time. They're our friends. We love them. But sometimes they do shit like this. And I know Anna doesn't really have a big issue with calling people out, but I know it's something I need to work on. And maybe if you're doing some of these things, or if your friends are doing some of these things, maybe you should
call them
think
out
about
too.
That, and maybe call your friends out.
Or like, think about why you're friends with them.
Yeah. And I understand that maybe sometimes you don't realize how you're coming across, or you don't mean anything by it, but I think that's a kind of a selfish mindset to have, because you need to think about how your actions and your words affect other people. To me, that's a big thing, and that's what I always do. So and that's maybe an issue with me because I always get upset if someone does something to me, and in my head I'm like, well, I would never treat someone like that. I would never say that to someone, so why are they saying that to me? And then it makes me upset. But like, I understand that not everyone thinks like that, and maybe you should just be a little more conscious of how your words and actions affect other people.
Yeah.
So
Also, I wanted to bring up earlier when you brought up the group of guys that we also hang out with. Sorry.
that happens a lot with Anna. You guys will get used to it. So
I'm a gassy lady. Even if we didn't have that group of friends, I still feel like our arguments and statements are valid.
Oh yeah, because we've only been friends with these guys since July, and these things were happening, you know, way before we were friends with them.
Like,
so.
You don't need to see all sides of a certain predicament or action or argument, like how men treat women on the internet and video games in general, to know that there's something wrong.
Yeah. And I also want to point out that it's not really that off topic, but I was watching this guy stream yesterday. His name's Custa. He's an ex-Overwatch League player. He's now a desk analyst for the Overwatch League. And he's pretty cool. I like him. And I was watching him stream yesterday. Again, yesterday, as of the time we're recording this, was International Women's Day. And I don't know how many of you saw the big Burger King ad debacle.
Excuse
but
me?
he was talking about that. Yeah, Burger King. Did you hear about that?
I did not. Please explain for context.
Sure. So Burger King posted a tweet that said, "Women belong in the kitchen," and then replied to that tweet and said, if they want to be, only 25% of chefs are women. Well, it was like, they were going, like, it was like someone was like, oh, this will be clever. So in the long run, yeah, what they said was right. Only 25% of women are chefs. Women belong in the kitchen if they want to be. But the main tweet, the one that said women belong in the kitchen, 10 times more people saw that tweet than they saw the one that was replied underneath it, answering that tweet, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So basically it was like, haha, tell me you have no women on your PR ad team without actually telling me you have no women on your PR ad team. You know, a man made that ad and was like, oh, this will be clever. But it was this big issue because of how it came across, regardless of how it ended up. And
it was, in fact, not clever.
Yeah, so that tweet has now been deleted. But anyway, Custa was talking about that tweet. And like, he basically said the same thing I just said. Like, it was not clever. It was a really poor choice of PR for International Women's Day, and was talking about other companies like Chick-fil-A, like homophobic, you know, companies like that, and who not to support. And I was like, yeah, Custa, I can get behind this. And so something else that was kind of interesting to watch yesterday on International Women's Day.
Happy birthday, all women, again.
Happy birthday, all women. True.
Hope you're all doing well.
Anyway, that's all I had to talk about with that regard. What about you, Miss Anna?
What was the topic again? I just knew we were going off on bad experiences with men.
I have an idea. How about you pretend to be a woman using a video game, and I'll be a man?
Okay. I am a woman playing a video game.
What game are you playing?
Let's go with Overwatch, since all the terrible men seem to be on there.
Okay. Hey, did you know if you press W, you'll go forward?
Oh my god, this whole time I've been using the arrow keys. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Also, I don't know if you know this, but if you press mouse 1, which I know this may be hard for you to comprehend, but it's the left button on your mouse, your gun will shoot.
What does my right mouse button do?
Depends on the character you're playing. It could bring
as a woman,
up.
you know I'm already playing Mercy.
Oh, well, that will simply allow you to damage boost your target.
Oh, thank you. So that's what the blue beam does. This whole time I thought it was just for show.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. It damage boosts your target, and you can press your scroll wheel on your mouse or the number 2 on your keyboard. That will bring your gun out, but I wouldn't recommend that for beginners.
You're right. As a woman, I obviously don't know how to aim. God, that took like a million brain cells out of me.
That's gonna piss a lot of people off, I feel like, but I don't care. That's how it is. It's not an over-exaggeration. That shit happens.
If I had chosen Dead by Daylight, all we would have had to do was reread the chat from yesterday.
Yeah, literally. Reread my Twitch chat from yesterday. Coming out of a locker makes noise.
God damn, so that's what that noise I've been hearing when I come out of a locker is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It makes a noise if you come out of the locker.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I wanted to talk about something. I wanted to talk more about using Facecam on streaming.
Okay.
Since you brought that up earlier. That is also kind of the reason why I haven't been using my camera for streaming, at least not for the last 2 streams. And I don't know if I ever will.
It's a difficult decision to make because then, you don't know what kind of weirdos are going to come out of the crevices.
What kind of gremlin's gonna crawl out from their hole and decide to shit on how you look?
I think using a camera is more personable, but at the same time, it's like, do you want to take the risk?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's a hard decision to make.
Tay, as a woman who is streaming, and for someone who I think is doing pretty good at streaming, do you have any advice for others who identify as women who want to stream?
Yeah, I would have some advice to give. I think the best piece of advice would be if you're nervous or uncomfortable, if you're new, play with friends. So it's not like you streaming a game by yourself. Have some people in the Discord chat with you, in the voice chat, or play a game with friends. If you're a little nervous or uncomfortable.
I burped.
Even to this day, I do that a lot just because sometimes I react better to weird people if I have, people there with me, as opposed to playing something by myself. And don't worry about like views or what game you should be playing to get views. Just play whatever you want. Play something that you like playing, and don't worry about your views or anything, because you're gonna get follows. You're gonna get people. You're gonna get people talking to you. So just be consistent, which is something I need to work on because I also have a day job, so I don't stream every day. So be consistent and have fun and play with friends, and you'll be Gucci.
If I may, I will also say playing a game that you're really comfortable with when you start off streaming also helps, because you already know what you're doing. You already know the mindset you want to have when you play this game. You already know you'll have fun with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I would agree to that. Which is why I play a lot of Overwatch.
I want to stream Destiny, but the problems with Destiny are an entire conversation on their own. That's a whole other episode that I don't think is fit for this podcast.
Yeah, so if you guys aren't already following Anna and I on Twitch, I am Peachy Tay on Twitch. It is Peachy, Peachie, Tay, Tay. And then Anna, you can plug your Twitch. Why not?
My Twitch is Pastel Void, PASTELV0 instead of an O ID.
Yep. All right. That's cool.
Is that the end of the podcast?
Yeah, I don't have anything else to talk about. Oh, I wanted to bring something up, though. I hadn't talked to you about this, but I think it's a good idea. If anyone listening at any point, regardless of how long ago this episode aired, if you want to, either anonymously, you can add your name if you want, send us, if you're a woman on the internet playing games, if you want to, send us, your experiences, if you have any, weird experiences or bad experiences, Like I said, you can do it anonymously. You can send it to our email address, and we can like talk about it on the podcast at some point if you're okay with that.
Oh my
Like I said, you can
God.
remain anonymous. So Anna, do you want to plug our email address for them to send that to?
Of course you want me to plug it.
It's a really good email.
All right. So the email, if you want to send us anything, whether anonymous or not, also please state in the email if you want it to be anonymous, just so that we know we're not, so that we have a confirmation that we're not putting out your information, unless you want us to. Of course, that's a completely different thing. Anyways, the email is bigtittyladies@hotmail.com. This is not a joke. The email is bigtittyladies@hotmail.com.
Can you spell it out?
BIGTITTYLADIES@HOTMAIL.com.
Yes. It's a very good email address.
Thank you. I came up with it myself. Actually, that's a lie. Lauren came up with it.
Yeah,
God bless
came up
Lauren.
with
I
the
can't
email
wait for her to
address.
show up.
Literally. All right. Well, that's all I have. What about you, Miss Anna?
I think that's it. I think
Very
this was a pretty
cool.
good one, despite.
Yeah, not bad for our first episode.
Yeah. Well,
So we're gonna
if you got this far,
hopefully-
thanks for listening.
yeah, literally, thank you.
Especially with a conversation like this.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be hard for a lot of people to understand or listen to, maybe, but I think it's important to talk about.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So, thank you everyone for listening. This
Yeah,
is the
thanks.
end of Two Bimbos Saying Shit.
yeah, have a wonderful day
Or night. Wherever you
or
are.
night.